Pushback following the Supreme Court's decision to uphold the Trump administration's travel ban.
And we alerted you about this on your phone when the High Court rejected a challenge that the ban discriminated against Muslims or exceeded presidential power. Well, the ban affects 5 mostly Muslim countries: Iran, Syria, Libya, Yemen, and Somalia. But it also impacts North Korea and Venezuela. This is the 3rd version of the president's travel ban.
The Supreme Court ruling was a tremendous victory for our country.
President Trump hailed a 5-4 Supreme Court decision upholding the 3rd version of his travel ban. It grants him broad deference on matters of national security.
We have to be tough, and we have to be safe, and we have to be secure.
Chief Justice John Roberts said the majority on the High Court focused on presidential authority rather than Trump's provocative statements as a candidate and later as president. The ban applies to mostly Muslim countries: Libya, Iran, Somalia, Syria, Yemen, along with Venezuela and North Korea.
This president has given a rationale for excluding these specific countries because they don't have proper security screenings in place in those countries for travelers who would be coming to the United States.
Protesters railed against the decision.
Just because the Supreme Court decides that something is legal doesn't make it right and doesn't make it moral. Slavery was legal. Segregation was legal. Internment of Japanese Americans was legal.
It reminds me, too, of that really shameful part of our history, and I don't want to see this country turning back towards that path.
The ban, which took effect in December, does not affect lawful permanent residents of the U.S., dual citizens, or people who have already begun their visa process. Now, the ruling affirmed broad presidential discretion over who is allowed to enter the U.S. President Trump could potentially add more countries to the ban. Yolanda?
Well, Tracy, how did the vote break down between justices? Well, it came down to one vote that swayed the ruling in favor of the ban, 5-4. Chief Justice John Roberts ruled in favor of the travel ban with 4 conservative judges. Justice Roberts spoke for the group, writing, "The proclamation is squarely within the scope of presidential authority." Now, 4 liberal justices voted in dissent, and that included President Obama's appointments, Sonia Sotomayor and Elena Kagan. Justice Sotomayor said this is a blistering dissent. The majority here completely sets aside the president's charged statements about Muslims as irrelevant.
Members and advocates of the Muslim community in Columbus say they are deeply saddened by today's decision and say it will force the separation of families. 10 TV's Maureen Kosat has reaction now from community leaders who say they will fight for change.
The Supreme Court's decision means nationals from 7 countries, including Iran and Somalia, won't be touching down here at Port Columbus International Airport. Now, keep in mind, Columbus is home to the 2nd largest Somali population in the U.S.
The Supreme Court's decision has fueled national protests. In Columbus, the Council on American Islamic Relations, or CAIR, says it's bitterly disappointed. Amanda Pritt heads up Us Together, a Columbus group which serves immigrants and refugees.
Regardless of the decision today, the travel ban remains what it has always been, an expression of animosity towards Muslims and a movement towards state-sanctioned discrimination.
Community leaders say they're urging people to put pressure on Congress to essentially overturn the travel ban by supporting proposed legislation that would minimize enforcement. Ahead at 6, a man living in Columbus who says his sister may never be able to join her family. Maureen Kosat, 10 TV News.